time that you can say, get Bishop. Amen.
Okay.
Barbara, hey, see can we can get Bishop doing some praise the Lord. Be a blessing. Y'all, let's put our hands together. Barbara, she was Pastor Samuel. We went to TJ. She was a little cheerleader. I want to introduce the mayor. Barbara's not a stranger here. So she's used to it.
Yes, well, morning, y'all.
Good morning.
It is an honor and a pleasure to be back at the table for the umpteenth time. And my mama always told me, her name was Isella, she said, Barbara Ann, if you have a microphone placed in your hand and you're going to stand to speak the word and there's food waiting, you better make it very short. Mayor, I don't feel slighted if I don't give this entire resume introduction. But what I would like to say is, friends and brothers and sisters, I am living the dream. Yes, I am. And you all heard me say for more than 40 years, wherever I get up and go to work in any given day, he just sends me, and he sent me to this wonderful man many years ago. It was a privilege to get to help Craig Greenberg become the 51st mayor of the great city of Louisville, Mayor Craig Greenberg. Welcome, Mayor.
Thank you so much, Barbara. It has been an honor to be, for you to be deputy mayor of our city, to be working with you. And it's great to be back at the table. I know I was just reflecting on the last time I was here was when I was campaigning for office. I know Barbara has been back, other members of our team, the chief of police. I know that folks from the police come regularly. Just saw another friend come in today. How are you? And so it's great to be back with you. I've already seen Willie twice today. We started this morning at 6 a.m. with Boxes of Love, working with our friends at Organized Labor to feed 1,500 families over this holiday weekend. And really, that's what it's all about, is helping others who are in need. And that's why Barbara and myself and Sophie and our whole team are really so excited and motivated about everything that we're doing every day. It's all about helping others who need help. This year has gone by very quickly. I think that's because we've all been working so hard and trying to get a lot done and planting the seeds for the future of our city that are going to sprout in the future years. We've done a lot. Public safety, as you all know, which is something when you said, Bishop, what can we do to help? I'm going to come back to that. But if we look back in the year in review when it comes to public safety, we have an amazing new police chief. We are taking a different approach with respect to our training of our police officers. We're working to recruit new police officers to work with folks like you all at the table. As you all know, Colonel Healy, he's here regularly, working, engaging in community policing like that. That's what we need to do to prevent crime from happening in the first place, to have enough officers to respond when crime does happen. In the past couple weeks, I've attended several programs called Group Violence Intervention, which I'm going to come back to in a second, working with younger people to prevent crime from happening in the first place. Affordable housing is another huge area of ours where we have made tremendous progress. We have a great new plan. Our goal is to build 15,000 new or renovated affordable housing units across the entire city. And when we talk about affordable housing, yes, it should be affordable, but it also should be of high quality and it should be safe. I was just talking earlier this morning to a gentleman who's having some challenges with his house right now. That is simply unacceptable. If housing should be affordable, safe, and a high quality. And affordable housing should be in every neighborhood of Louisville, not just other people's neighborhoods. We need it everywhere. We are not looking to concentrate poverty just in certain areas. We're also working on economic development to create good paying career path jobs for people, to give young people all sorts of opportunities. Workforce development, not everyone needs to go to a 4-year college and get a college education. There are so many great opportunities in organized labor to learn a skilled trade, learn computer programming. There's so many ways to earn a living these days, to create wealth for your family, and we want to provide those opportunities for everyone. We've made tremendous investments in our parks and our libraries. Just this week, we're closing out the year with a tremendous historic investment on more libraries here in the West End and other parts of our city to do deferred maintenance, because as you know, not every park in our city looks the same, and that's not right. All parks should be world-class parks, like the new Alberta Jones Park right here in the California Jones neighborhood. So our goal is that every metro park is at the same quality of the Alberta Jones Park, and we've invested a tremendous amount there. And libraries. The Portland and Parkland Library have been closed for far too long. Just with the support of Metro Council this week, we announced we have the full funding, and so those projects are under construction. Portland and Parkland libraries will reopen. We're going to build a new library in Fern Creek, and that is just beginning. We are going to continue to invest in parks and libraries. So that is just a little bit of what we have done this year. When we look to the future, one of the areas that I'm most frustrated by, thinking back on the past year, we could really use your help, is when it comes to public safety. We are just short of 150 homicides this year in our city. Over 300 non-fatal shootings. That is far, far, far too many, because it's not just numbers. My guess is every person in this room, like me, knows a family who has been impacted by gun violence. You all probably know people who have been killed by gun violence. And so we can and we must do more. We are working to do that. We have Mike Bogan as our new head of group violence intervention, which I mentioned, which now we're reaching out to young people and older individuals who have gotten caught up in a gang or another group, and their life is headed in the wrong direction. And what we're saying to them is, we want to help you. We want to provide you with resources. Do you need a job? Do you need training? Do you need to move out of Louisville? What do you need to pursue your hopes and opportunities to not continue heading down the wrong path, which is going to lead you either into jail or to be injured, or even worse, killed by gun violence? And so we're looking to help them. We need your help to identify individuals who want the city's help, who want the help of clergy like Bishop Lyons and others that can help guide them in the right direction. And then we also need your help to help change some of the laws, because right now our city is handcuffed by what we can and can't do. Let me tell you how crazy some of the laws in our state are right now. Right now, the gun that was used to try to kill me 2 years ago, the gun that was used to kill 5 people at Old National Bank in April, the gun that was used 5 days after that Old National Bank tragedy to kill 2 people in Chickasaw Park. Right now, under current state law, all of those guns are required to be turned over to the state, and they get auctioned off to the highest bidder. And those guns end up back on the street. That is crazy, to think that guns that are used to harm and kill individuals are going to end up back on the street. The least we can do is to change that law so when a gun is used for the wrong reason, we can destroy it. But we can and we must do more. There are individuals on the street that have illegal guns, that shouldn't have guns because of their current mental health status, that are using guns for the wrong reasons. But right now, not only does the state law say that we can't do anything about it, but if Barbara or myself or any member of Metro Council or any member of LMPD were to try to do something to crack down on illegal gun use, we would be criminals. We would be violating Kentucky state law and would be at risk of committing a crime. Now, as wrong as I think that is, I'm a person who believes in law and order, so we're going to abide by those. But we need your help, and we need other people's help across the city and state to change the laws in our state and to change the laws in Congress, so that here in Louisville we can have more local autonomy, local ability to do what we all in this room knows need to be done to save people's lives, to reduce the amount of gun violence. So anyone that wants to help us, we welcome your assistance. And so, Bishop, we hope to continue working with you to reduce the amount of gun violence. I know you have been very engaged working with LMPD and other law enforcement to help prevent crime from happening in the first place. That's what it's all about. Our goal is not to lock up more people. Our goal is to prevent people from using guns for the wrong reasons. So I look forward to hearing from you all and working with you all in the coming years ahead to do what we can to continue to reduce gun violence, to continue to build more affordable housing, to continue to make investments here in West Louisville and other neighborhoods that have been overlooked for an entire generation, to continue to bring new high-quality jobs to all neighborhoods of our city. So thank you all so much. Bishop, thank you for having Barbara and me here today, and we're excited to continue partnering with you, and thank you for your good work throughout the year.
Amen.
I know maybe just one or two, but I just want to encourage you in what you're doing. I tell the police and all of the administrators, we know you. We know the administration, but we have a problem with those who we see face to face. So I want you to encourage all of your officers from the police. I tell the chief, we know Jackie Gwynn, base chief. We know your people up here, but like, just for example, you got that new group, Bogan, but they don't reach, they don't get. So encourage them. There might be, and I suggest that when you have a program, you tell them start at the bottom, start at the grassroots instead of starting up here. Y'all go and hit the street, go down and hit the street level, and then work your way up. Because what happens is your good work just gets stuck right here, and then we down there raising hell on your doorstep saying you ain't right because it got here, but it never did reach us. So I just want to tell your administrators to start make sure that you get to the street. All right, we're gonna take 3 more questions. Okay, yeah, you was first, brother.
Willie.
Will, I need you to get on the microphone, please.
I was gonna call you.
I know, he's flipping.
Okay, Mayor, here's something that can help this city tremendously. Number one, we have to get to the young kids. How do we get to the high school students, to the college students? This table needs to be expanded to a place where we can have the young people come. In Chicago, where I come up, Operation Breadbasket had a place like the Palace. All of the city came. Diana Ross came, Quincy Jones came, the football players, the basketball players. This past summer, at the over by when they had anyway, they raised about $9 million. You had people coming to see the concert. So that means that Pastor Lyons needs some money, a few $1 million, to open up a place where this can continue every Saturday. Then the kids will speak. They will tell you who's doing what. But they are not protected to the point where they will say something.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Another question, so I'm gonna let him, y'all give the question, then I'm not gonna let you respond right on. You can just go straight through. So, the next question, yeah. Now, Reverend Brother Frank, and then you, Michelle. Y'all make your questions short, so we can get it.
Good morning. Good morning, Mayor. Good morning. Glad to see you here, and sidekick. I love your initiatives that you started out with. As a matter of fact, before you got into administration, came to Mayor, you hit the road running because you had already seen what needed to be done in the city of Louisville that wasn't done in the past administration. Now, we talked about the future of the city of Louisville. The future of the city of Louisville is our young people. Our school is in a debacle. My question is to you, as far as mayor, how are you working in partnership with the school administrations? Because with the 24, 25 coming in with the new rules and regulations that they have as far as busing, if you can't get the kids to the inner schools, to the schools, especially when they start with that top priority for bus will be residential schools. As we know, in our black communities, we have either no schools or very few schools. So if those kids don't have schools to go to, they can't get the education, then you have no education means incarceration. So what are we gonna do as far as the metro to work along with the schools to get all of this sorted?
Okay, all right, Mr. Patterson, be signed.
Good morning, Mayor. Brother Neeshawn, or Uncle Neeshawn, as Good to have you out here. I have one question. It's a question. I've been in the city for 30 years, and I'm concerned because I understand as a descendant of American slave, we have mental health in our community. There's a lot of mental health. You want to stop the violence in our community, you got to get in the head.
That's right, that's right.
There is a old Parliament song that says, when you get in the head, the butt will follow. That's what they know them to say. They say, hey, will follow. So when you get in the head of the emotional problems in our community, you can change a lot of things. So my question is, have you ever heard of social emotional learning? I'm interested in, will you be interested in helping us put some programs in our community about social emotional learning? And I love for my team of people that I have involved in to come and talk to you about that. Because if we're going to stop the violence in our community, we got to start with the head first and the heart, and then we can start turning some things around. Does that make sense to you?
All right, thank you, Lieutenant Colonel. Way back, brother. Oh, yeah. Boy, all right.
Thank you, Mayor. Barbara, so glad to be here. And there's so many things happening in our city, in our community, and development. You spoke of housing. Greenwood Cemetery is a prime example of improving the housing area in that area. Development, concentration. Kids go to school a lot, and they pass that cemetery. It's a historical cemetery, by the way. Historical. We got so many veterans. I'm a veteran, Vietnam veteran. I'm also a chaplain, volunteer chaplain for the LMPD. But one thing about it is, if we can develop that cemetery, start those houses in the community, Lexington community did it, we can do it here. Develop it. I purchased a house in the West End. I developed it. I bought it for $17,000. I sold it for $130,000. So I understand what you're speaking of. But if you can come alongside of us, I'm a Rotarian. NEDVETS is getting ready to have a National Association of Black Veterans here in Louisville. Rotary is having a district convention here in Louisville. We have to start developing and making awareness to the community. Thank you for this time.
All
Be
right,
blessed.
all right. Do it, Murray, you got 5 minutes.
Okay.
Got to answer all that. I'm the man here. 5 minutes, hit the door.
Let me respond to, and Deputy Mayor Sexton Smith might have a few words also. But first on our school system. We are working closely, Deputy Mayor and I and other members of our administration speak regularly with Dr. Polio and other folks at the school board. We have regular meetings, and then we also collaborate a lot on other things. We're focused on kids' safety. We're focused on other transportation, as you mentioned, and what we can do to support JCPS with their plan. We are very supportive of their initiative to build new schools here in West Louisville and other neighborhoods, as you mentioned, that have not had high quality schools for far too long, probably for all time, and that's simply unacceptable. I know Dr. Polio knows that, and we fully support that. So anything we can do to be supportive, we're supportive of the governor's proposed budget, which some of you all might have seen proposed a significant pay increase for teachers and for bus drivers. That's one of the things that we need to continue to do. We need to pay our teachers and bus drivers more to ensure we get great folks continuing to want to go into education. One other area that I want to mention in education before I leave that our administration is working to do that no one in the city has tackled before. And that is we are working to make universal pre-K a reality for all 3 and 4-year-old students. So you all know, research is clear. I don't have to tell you that when kids get their start in education early, they're going to lead safer lives, healthier lives, they're going to have more opportunities for success. And so that early in January, you're going to see our plan come out about how we get there. And it's going to be a big, bold plan. We're going to need support for that plan, but one that we are very optimistic that will really transform lives for everyone here in Louisville. So that's something that we're going to continue to focus on. In terms of mental health, that's another area that we need to do even more. We've started to do more in the city here, but we must do more. And we totally agree that mental health is a huge challenge. One of the things that we were able to get done this year is that when certain people call 911, they're having a mental health emergency. It's not a violent crime crisis, it's a mental health crisis. And so we now have a deflection program in partnership with 7 counties which is a great nonprofit organization some of you all might be aware of, that can provide mental health services to those who are in crisis, as opposed to a police officer that might not be the best trained individual to deal with that mental health crisis. We want to continue to expand that program. And so we're going to continue to do that. We need more mental health providers, period. We need them more in the West End. We need them more all over the city. And so if there are, one of the things that we've struggled with is not just funding, but is having enough people who are trained mental health professionals. So we need to encourage more people to go into that field. And if there are programs that you all have, I have not heard of your specific program, but if we'd love to learn more, because we need to partner up with organizations that are providing mental health services. Deputy Mayor Sexton Smith, for over a decade, I believe, has been involved in an initiative called the Compassionate Schools Project, where they've started, it's now a national program that goes into schools. They have some partnerships with JCPS to start teaching kids at a very early age about mindfulness, about meditation, about breathing, conflict resolution, all of those things that people need to be equipped with those tools to lead healthy physical and mental lives. So we are all ears to that. And then thank you for your comment on Greenwood Cemetery. We've been working with Councilwoman Hawkins on trying to get the city to do more. I was just talking earlier with Rob King about what we can continue to do to make sure that we have the right equipment to keep that cemetery and other cemeteries up. That's a unique situation where the previous owners went into bankruptcy, and we're trying to work our way through that, because the veterans who are buried there, individuals who are buried elsewhere, deserve the respect of high quality cemeteries that are kept up to the standards of every other cemetery in the city. We strongly agree with you, and we want to continue to find ways that the city can be supported.
All right. I think it's perfect. I promised him when he got here, he would have 30 minutes, and he would have to leave. And I'm glad that you did do that. Amen. We ain't coming back before